Welcome back to Of Dice and Friends, your weekly serving of magic, mayhem, and misadventure. I'm Joey, your chronicler on this wonderful journey, and this week I learned that I've been pronouncing avalanche wrong my entire life. How is it actually said?
Avalanche.
Avalanche?
Avalanche.
Yeah.
Avalanche.
Avalanche.
On that note, I don't know if it's mayhem, Joey.
No, don't do that to me.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if we're going to open this can of worms.
Yeah, go for it.
It's mayhem.
It is mayhem.
Oh, wait, are you serious?
Yeah, have you been saying mayhem?
Oh, no, wait, how is it said?
We wanted to do this gently and surround you with friends to let you know that you're not alone. There are other people out there who put pork products in random words too. Okay?
It's also not malice, it's malus.
Malus?
Oh, and it's not Joey, it's Joey.
It's Joey.
Wow, okay. Well,
This got heavy really fast.
hopefully
Joey, you're
our
the best
listeners
DM
aren't
ever.
totally agitated with my mispronunciation of words. Mayhem?
Yes.
Great.
And avalanche.
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves now?
Hey everybody, good to be back. Nolan here, playing Mo the Monk. Just for the record, I'm going to defend the DM a little bit. I also thought it was mayhem. So
really?
I got your back on that.
That makes me feel better.
So this week I was actually working on a construction joke.
Oh boy.
But I'm still working on it.
I'm Greg, and I play J.R. Ranstar, the perfect picture of a perfect gentleman.
I'm Rachel. I play Tana the Tiefling. I noticed we've got Mo the Monk, Tana the Tiefling. Do we have any other, Marvel alliterations in our characters?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, then I guess we're not doing any more Peter Parkers. That's all she wrote, folks.
This is Aaron, and I play Finian, the elf, the very pale, very foxy elf.
It's pronounced cat.
Damn.
I'm Sarek. I play Heen, the Gith with no name.
Wait.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
And with that, it's time for our story to continue.
Boys, let us raise a glass to the nights we won't remember and the friends we will never forget. Cheers.
Cheers.
Chapter 3, Sinking Ship. Last time, our group of level 3 misfits wandered their way to the coast of the Path of Malice, surviving an avalanche, a frozen river, and wraiths along the way. At the
Joey,
shore...
I think this story has sprung a leak.
Yeah, thanks. All right, anyway, you met this other chick named Zai on the coast. She's now with you.
Bitch.
She was kind of awful, but it makes sense given the context of where she is. And you left, you got on a boat, and that's where we're going to pick up. The 6 of you, including Zai, now stand aboard the ship. It's large, with 2 square masts, but it's by no means massive. About a dozen ghostly crew members work on deck, though many of them have stopped to gawk at you guys. You imagine there are probably more workers below deck. The most noteworthy of them is this incredibly colorful tropical Aarakocra who steps up to meet you. Well, welcome aboard, but before we get started, I just need to make sure I have the right group from this island. Who exactly hired you?
Oh, hey man. Actually, it was an orc. I'm not so good with names, but he was a pretty friendly guy. Actually, that's a lie. I don't think he was that friendly. Does anyone want to help me? Because I feel like I'm floundering. I don't remember his name.
Haha, we're on a boat and you're floundering.
Oh, that's good.
Jokes aside, a man by the name of Prince Morath Belior hired us.
All right, well, scratch my balls. You're in the right place, and I found the right group. Welcome aboard the sinking ship. I'm your captain, Deadbeat Dick, and let me be clear. If you cause any ruckus during your stay aboard my boat, I will throw you overboard. Granted, you won't drown. You are dead, but the pressure will eventually kill you. Am I clear on that point?
Oh, absolutely.
Very much so.
Do you go by Deadbeat or Dick? Or Richard?
You can also call me Captain, but I'll go by any of those
Captain
options.
Dick.
Can we call you
Captain
Beat
Deadbeat.
Dick?
I'm just going to call you Dick.
Beat Dick is what my wife calls me, sure. Well, anyway, I have a few rooms for the 6 of you. How you divide up is none of my concern, but there are 3. They're below deck. I'll have someone show you the way. Do you have any questions?
There's only 3 rooms
Well, that's right. I wasn't sure how many of yous I'd be getting.
on the whole boat. There's
Well,
only 3 rooms.
There are 3 rooms for the lot of you.
Great.
Yes, it'll be like a slumber party.
Great.
Where is Zai going to bunk?
You can't leave her alone under any circumstance. If you're not going to be with her all night,
You are
I
also
will.
are a lady. You should be with her.
Yeah, maybe you
The
two
two
should
ladies
share a
should
room.
share a room.
I agree. That makes the most sense.
I wanted to kill her 5 minutes ago, and you're
And
going to
she
make me...
tried to kill the elf. It's perfect.
All right. There seem to be some trust issues amongst you. Should I be concerned
No.
for the safety of my crew?
No, just maybe... No.
In the
Just-
spirit
just
of
for her.
openness, you should know that we have a tailcoat passenger. Is that how the phrase goes? Anywho, this lady here is named Zai. She is accompanying us unexpectedly.
All right.
If you need to get rid of any weight on the boat, feel free to dump her first.
Great. All right.
But to be fair, really quick, I don't think spirits have weight, so I don't think that's really a good call.
Well, this is going to be a long journey, ain't it?
Yeah, on that note, how long is the journey supposed to take?
Well, we're heading to the Path of Tenacity, where I've been told to drop the 6 of you off, so...
Just like that, we're getting on a boat, and we're leaving Malice, and we're going to Tenacity.
That's right.
But what magic or demigod is helping you with this journey?
Oh, well, all right. So it ain't easy leaving this place on account of it being a grade A shithole, but there ain't anything stopping us from slipping through the glaciers here. You can just sail away.
I just always thought once you were in Malice, you're always in Malice. I mean,
Apparently, all it takes is a ship that can survive running into ice.
Well,
Oh.
that
Or a
and
good
a way
captain.
out of the ice. So most souls here just stay frozen until they pass on.
Well, that sounds great. Tally ho. Let us go.
I admire the spirit. All right, I'll have someone show you to your rooms.
I have one more question. Mr. Dick, Mr. Deadbeat, or whatever.
Captain.
Captain Dick.
Captain.
All of that works.
Do you guys ever get the feeling or the just sudden urge to sing I'm on a boat when you're on the boat, or is that just something that's happening to me right now?
I'm on a boat and it's going fast, and I got a nautical theme. Look at my app.
Sings the entire crew when you say that.
Oh, that's pretty cool, guys. We should stay here.
What is this rockish? Jazz is more my tune.
Someone will come and grab you and bring you below deck, and there
What's
are in
jazz?
fact 3 rooms for you.
The best music ever.
How do you divide up to these 3 rooms?
Well, you see, I'm not used to ever being in a room with someone, so 3 of you can share a room, right?
Well, back at the monastery, my room had 20 or 40, or it was a lot of people, so I'm fine with whatever.
Excellent. See, he's on board. What a champ. I'll slap you on the back.
I guess I'm stuck with her, and I cast her a really dirty glare.
She just kind of smiles and waves at you,
Oh.
really antagonistically.
Great.
Yeah.
So I won't be sleeping at all tonight.
They're going to be best friends.
Since
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm happy to
that
check on
smile
you.
is so endearing.
if you think this is going to end in pillow fights, I can assure you it will probably end with her in 3rd-degree burns. Will somebody else be staying in this room with me?
I will.
Wait.
Thank you.
Is that not what is going to happen? That was what all the upperclassmen used to tell me when I
So
was at school.
JR's on his own, like the spoiled prig he is. The Gith and the quote-unquote monk are in another room, and
I have half my outfit.
I'll help you keep an eye on this one.
I suppose Finn and I will be with this riffraff over here.
So you all go into your rooms. I guess you don't have luggage or anything to put in your rooms. but-
Just emotional baggage.
Yeah, right. A lot of that. The rooms are very cramped. Basically, it's just a bunk bed in each of them and some space to walk to get to said bunk bed.
In the bed of mine that isn't used, I put my cane down and then the top hat on the pillow and tuck in my cane. There you go.
I'm not used to sleeping in a bed, and I don't trust half of my bunkmates anyway, so I just kind of sit on the floor in the corner so nothing can be at my back, staring at her angrily.
Zai will wait to see what the two of you do as you enter. So Tana, you go and sit in the corner. Finian, what do you do when you enter the room?
What furniture is in the room?
Just a bunk bed.
Just a bunk bed.
That's
No
it.
chest, nothing.
No chest, no desk.
No chair.
Yeah, there's a little window and a little opening, but that's about it.
I'll go sit in the other corner.
Okay.
I go sit in the other corner. I pull my robe down over my eyes, and I begin my meditation.
Okay. Seeing this, Zai will take the top bunk, and she will just keep an eye on the two of you suspiciously.
Okay.
That makes me nervous. I feel like she's a rogue and she took the high ground. I don't like that.
You may need more sleep than I. I'll finish my meditation and take a watch.
Thanks, Elf.
What? Do you think I'm going to kill you in your sleep?
That's exactly what I think.
What motive would I have to do that?
Well, you work for Karzire, so basically I just think you're a soulless scumbag demon who would do anything just for the sake of malice.
Well, technically you're wrong. All I am is a soul. I'm far from soulless.
And she's a pedantic one at that. Wonderful.
She gives you a smile.
I'll jump up on the top bunk and I'll get all like cozied in. And then when it's just kind of quiet, I'll be like, "Hey, Heen,
Yes?
do you ever like think that Tana's maybe like a bad noodle?"
In that she is a worm or in that she is bad?
Well, like she's always kind of threatening to kill people, and I don't know. That just seems like kind of not a thing a good person would do. Like I have these awesome, sick, rad karate skills, and I don't ever use them unless I'm in like mortal danger.
I have encountered many of her types in my travels, as I can best recall at least. I believe she is mostly bluster, and, well, I guess she does have the fire to back it up, so I wouldn't cross her either way. And let's just hope she is not a murderous hobo.
Hey, Heen.
It is the time for sleeping, not the time for chatting.
I kick in the door, throw water on you guys. Ha ha! Antics! And then run away.
And apparently the time for antics.
Finny and I are just
Jolly good.
exchanging glances as we hear all this ruckus in the neighboring rooms and rolling our eyes.
In my meditation, a small but noticeable smile creeps over my face. If you could see under my robe.
After a time, the ship escapes the glaciers that surround the Path of Malice, leaving the massive island to disappear over the horizon. And as the moon does the same, your souls feel like they need rest. Not sleep exactly, but some kind of weird hibernation that souls do here. You do. And for the most part, this is pretty uneventful. Though, Finian, after 4 hours as an elf, your rest is up early.
I come around from my meditation. I look around the small, cramped cabin that I'm sharing with Tana and Zai. I'm going to take a close look to see if Zai is sleeping.
She's sleeping. I've been here watching her for the last 4 hours.
Yeah,
not
quote
talking to you.
unquote. Ghosts, we're all dead here. We don't sleep, right? So she's kind of just passively staring up at the ceiling.
So I see you and you're awake. Whisper to Tana, I'll take the next shift if you'd like to sleep.
Okay. Promise you won't let her kill me or you or anything else.
I'll keep a close eye on her.
After about a half hour, as your senses are fully returning to you, you can start hearing the faintest squealing from somewhere else on the ship.
Describe the squealing.
Not like the squeaky floorboards that you've been hearing, but like a person or an animal. Yeah, squealing. Making a ruckus like something is trying to escape.
I jump up and
What a
throw
hero.
open the door, yelling at Finian to stay with the creep.
You hear this very bizarre noise even louder out here in the hallway.
Okay, well, I just inch forward. I'm not particularly happy on a boat. I'm surrounded by water, so none of this is a good situation.
The sound seems to be coming from the room at the far back. Perhaps the hold? The ship's hold?
All right, well, doing an internal groan, I peer around, hoping that one of my other compatriots, but not Finian because he needs to keep an eye on Zai, will come around. And I reach my hand out and I slowly open the door. Not sure what I'll find.
The door is locked. It's just a wooden door, but it is locked.
Scratch that. I try to open the door and let out a grunt of frustration when it doesn't budge.
Great.
I say to Zai, somewhat loudly, Zai! Zai!
What?
Zai, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you have some skills opening doors and locks.
She sits up in bed. So?
Tana seems to have found something in the end of the hall. There's a noise. It sounds like something in distress. An animal, maybe. I'm not sure. Would you think you could open the door? So we can have a look?
Sure. She hops down from her top bunk. An expression of feigned annoyance. It looks like she's mostly just curious to see what the hell is going on.
I'm thinking to myself, if anything's going to make somebody like her motivated, it's challenging her with her skills.
It makes sense. So she will push past you in the door, in the opening to your room, and go.
I call out the hallway. Tana, step aside. I'm going to see if Zai will help us here. She seems to likely have the skills to open that door.
I'm staring at him like the psychopath he is and not moving, but watching as she approaches me with just sort of like wide eyes.
She stops as she gets close to you. Are you going to move, or?
If you'd like to turn your back to me to unlock this door, please, by all means, go ahead.
She hesitates, and then she turns her back to you to open the door.
I'm actually kind of surprised, so all right, let's see what this hen has.
She produces a lockpick from her pocket, which would imply that this lockpick is so important to her that her soul carried it with her into the afterlife. And within moments, the door is open, and she makes a grand gesture inviting the two of you in.
I can't help but be a little impressed, but I'm certainly not going to let her know that.
Right.
I walk down the hall as somebody who has experienced being on a ship at sea before. I turn to Zai. Zai, I'm glad that you were able to open the door. That seemed like a challenge that would interest you.
She just nods and motions you to go inside.
I go inside.
Among the many crates and barrels of the ship's hold, there's a small little cage containing this adorable little multicolored warthog.
How is it lit?
The room? It's lit by the mage light in the hallway. This warthog is alive, which is strange. This is the first life you've seen since Prince Morath woke you up. He was alive. You have not seen any other life since then. And this warthog is squealing and struggling against the cage that is barely larger than it is.
This is reminding me, just an internal thought, of the animals that used to be caged up on Mount Orem, just for all the other tieflings to roast on a spit. And I'm actually getting pretty anxious seeing this because it's not a happy memory. So I turn to Finian and ask him if there's anything, Finian, that we can do to shut this creature up. It's really bothering me, and it'll wake everyone else up too.
I walk over to the cage. I kneel down, and I say soothingly to it, would you like to come out of this cage?
It stops struggling as you approach. Its attention is now firmly on you. But you get the impression it absolutely wants out of this cage.
I hold out my hand and I put my fingers in front of its snout so it can smell. I would have a pleasing aroma of
spores
fungus and mushroom about me.
I crouch down beside Finian and my nose is crinkling a little bit at the smell to see if there's a lock on the cage.
There's no lock on the cage. It is latched shut, so the warthog couldn't open it, but it's not locked.
I reach my hand in and I kind of gently caress this little piggy's.
I mean, if you want the room to yourself, I can leave.
Zai chuckles.
Yes, that would actually be helpful at the moment. Thank you.
Are you serious?
Just for a few minutes.
Zai's smile will fade completely, and she'll look at you, Tana, with horror.
Oh my!
I'm returning that look, and for the first time, I don't want to kill her. I'm just really okay.
Just a few minutes.
So he does belong in Malice, she'll say as she'll leave.
I'm shaking my head in disbelief and wondering the same thing. But Zai, after you.
She will leave.
It's very clear that I have no idea why they think that remark was strange.
Finian, you are left in a dark room. There's no more mage light coming from outside.
I have dark vision. I don't have a problem with
Perfect.
that. I speak more with the pig, just soothing words, and I'm going to cast animal friendship on this little fellow.
He immediately, not that he needed much coaxing to begin with, but he'll nuzzle himself into your hand. He seems calm.
I'm going to open the latch and let this little guy out.
He'll hesitantly at first. He isn't really sure what's going on, but he'll step out and look around, sniff you, and now just kind of look up at you like, what next?
I take a small dried mushroom out of one of my pouches. It's one of my many components.
Right.
And I offer it to the little guy. His name, he tells me, is Dergus.
Dergus will accept your offering. And then he produces a very happy squeal.
Would you like to be friends with me?
The answer, even though, of course, it doesn't respond with language, is a resounding, aren't we already friends? After a moment, Tana, the door to the ship's hold will open, and out come Finian and this warthog.
Did you and your new companion have a nice time bonding?
Dergus and I are good friends now. He's a lovely little fellow.
And then I'm confused all over again.
You named him?
Yes, his name is Dergus.
Boy.
He told me so himself.
I
Or at
guess-
least I think he did. Sometimes I get it wrong.
I guess they did have a nice time together.
I mean,
Okay.
he is speaking in pig.
Will you be buying Dergus breakfast?
No, I'll be making him breakfast.
Wow, that's romantic.
He likes mushrooms. Probably would eat a mushroom omelet, too, if I had eggs.
At this point, Zai and I have just devolved into giggles, like belly laughing, and Finian seems very confused as to why.
He's going to be my mushroom buddy.
In my room, I just hear the giggling, and I'm just like,
I knew it.
The three of you make your way back to your room, where Finian produces food from his palm and feeds it to his new friend before cuddling up and on their bottom bunk and caressing his warthog. And this continues for a while until the moon rises over the horizon with the light it sheds signaling morning.
I'll rise out of bed quickly, and seeing that you're not out of bed beaten before me, I'll tap on the underside of the bed a couple times.
What's going on? I'll hop out. What are we singing or what?
The time for questions is now. Previously,
As he's gesticulating wildly.
I am now energized, as should you be. You should be out of your bed already. You are a young man, yes?
Wait, are you giving me completely unfettered access to ask you every question I've ever had? It's a lot of questions. I mean, I have questions upon even more questions. And maybe a few more after that.
Perhaps oversold. I did have one for you, however. While I was in a trance thinking about it, what are you not letting yourself know? You're forgetting something on purpose.
Well, no, I don't think I'm forgetting stuff on purpose. Are you talking about my shoes? Because that wasn't by choice. I guess, I don't know, the orc guy said that the shoes aren't super connected to the soul, which I find really weird, but I guess that makes sense.
Well, you did say you never owned a pair of shoes, but now you imply you do. However,
But
that
I
is-
feel
that
like
is
my
not the
soul
point.
wanted shoes, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does.
Could you not just ask yourself now? You are a soul, after all.
Sensei says don't look too far inside yourself. He says it's dangerous.
Nevertheless, one as young and naive as you would not end up in the Path of Malice. The Path of Malice is, after all, a path you choose to an extent. So, I only wonder, what is it you're hiding from yourself?
That makes me pretty nervous, and this conversation is getting kind of scary. I feel like I don't know. I was just training at the monastery, and then I think I was sleeping, and my back really hurt. So I think I just tried to crack it way too hard, and then I was here.
There's
I
a
bang on
knock.
the. Oh, sorry. Damn it.
Damn, we both have the same thought. There's a knock on the door. and it's apparently Tana.
Who's apparently exuberantly talking, like to the point that she's like cutting off the DM. Sorry.
That last warning.
I'll just completely cut off the conversation I was having with Mo and just stare at you wide-eyed.
And I'm kind of wide-eyed myself because, well, it seems like we've taken on a 7th companion, and you guys should come say hello.
Is it like one of the ship members? Because
Just-
that Dick guy was pretty cool. He
You
should
asked-
travel with us.
So many questions. Go wake up JR and come meet our newest buddy.
Yes, Mo expressed an interest in asking many questions, so I think this would be good for him.
I'm warning you, this is a door we're not going to be able to close. Are you okay with that?
The door works fine.
I just
I can
sort of,
fix it myself if we need. I'm a master carpenter, after all.
I've just walked away at
Yeah.
this point, and then as I pass JR's door, I just like
Slam
bang on it.
The door just slides open. I have teeth. I see you had a fun night last night.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fun because I have no idea what he's inferencing, of course. Yeah, it was an interesting night for sure.
I bet it was.
Explored some things I never thought I'd explore, and did some things I never thought I'd do, and well, here
Pull
we
out a
are.
handkerchief.
I'm a little confused why JR is dabbing his forehead with a handkerchief because it's frankly somewhat cold on the ship, but I just shrug and go on my merry way and lead the three of you to our quarters where there's Zai and Finian and our new friend.
Okay, wait, what happened last night?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
I'll
this
tell you
is-
later.
What? You weren't there.
I can infer.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, as I just stare at the warthog. Is that dinner?
We're souls. We don't need to eat.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, JR's starting to freak me out.
How
Oh,
dare
yes,
you?
yes,
This is my new friend, Dergus.
More than
Oh,
a friend.
he's your friend.
Yes, of course.
Oh, not food. Okay.
Yes,
I like sheep
Dergus
anyway
is a friend,
more.
not food.
I'll lick my lips just staring at him.
Wait, do you think that thing could possibly also be from the Path of Malice and be like super evil? Like it could be like an evil swine or something? I'm not
No.
really sure.
Yeah, so I think it's very evil. We should eat it right now.
It was in a cage for a reason, presumably.
It was in jail?
It's just a pig.
A delicious pig.
Do you think the
Oh.
captain will be all right with you freeing his pig?
He'd better be. I'm now friends with Dergus. I'm sure I can make recompense to the captain if needed.
I'm gonna lean into Heen. Wait. Does that mean that Finian's also a bad noodle? Is he stealing things?
He is a noodle. What type of witch he is yet to be determined.
How dare you say such things?
Hey, you're not supposed to listen to me whispering to my friend.
Well, I think the GIF kind of answered out loud.
Oh yeah, I said that just a little too loud as it was. You could tell the gears were not turning.
Okay, guys. Anyway, I think we should really get a hand here. What is going on with the pig, and what's going on with the captain? Are we there yet? I feel like we should be there.
You guys make your way up to the deck to find the crew working, and you were expecting sunlight, but of course there is no sun. It's just more night, and all of the days are starting to blur together, and the existential dread is setting in, but here you are. And his ghost crew is... Right, except for you, Finian, because you grew up here in Noctara. No big deal for you. It's probably actually way more comfortable here for you than your brief time in Vitara. Sun was too much.
Oh, definitely. I like the dark.
And pigs.
Yeah, so you guys walk up to deck. The crew is working. The captain is overseeing his workers, his crew. Are you getting in the way? Where are you going? Are you just seeing the sights?
I'm going to go talk to the captain about Dergus.
Yeah, you approach the captain. He'll glance at you and then do a double take when he sees you have a warthog following you around. Well, flick my foreskin. What the hell are you doing with my pig?
Oh, Captain Dick. I heard this poor creature struggling in your hold last night, and I'm sure that he has a purpose, probably to become somebody's breakfast. I really like him. He's a sweetheart, and he loves mushrooms. And so do I. And I hope that I can find some way to compensate you because I'd like to make this little fellow, Dergus, my companion.
All right. So, you want to take him to befriend him?
Well, why not? Pigs are wonderful creatures.
Delicious creatures.
I did pick you up from the Path of Malice, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, all right, good. I thought maybe I had the wrong souls. All right, listen, I'll level with you. That pig, he's part of a deal. When we land in the Path of Tenacity, there's an orc who I need to have look the other way. A living orc, and, well, you know, the orcs love their pork, so he's part of a trade, you see. If you take that pork, then, well, we might have problems on our hands. Do you understand?
Of course I do. I didn't think this would come free. Is there something I can offer in terms of compensation?
From across the deck, I noticed that Finian's having some trouble getting his new companion to be able to come off the boat with us. So I sidle up next to him, and I put on my happiest, fleshiest, flashiest, fangy smile at Captain Dick, and I say, "Oh, you know what? We know this orc who you're talking about, and we're happy to just drop the pig off for you, save you a step. It's no problem. We'll just dump him."
Roll deception.
16.
He crosses his arms. You know the orc? You know the dockmaster?
Absolutely. Yep. Yes, we do.
Now, see, I was under the impression that Prince Morath, our employer, was freeing you from the Path of Malice. I'm not quite sure how you would know anyone from anywhere else.
It's more just that we're trying to do you a favor and save you a step.
I have
and-
sailed through the Path of Tenacity previously, and I've come across this Dockmaster.
Yes, that's what. I was going to say. Finian knows the Dark Master, and we're just happy as recompense for
And
letting
I've
us
been through Therum as well.
on the boat. We would do that for you since he knows this person.
Listen, I just want to be super clear on this point. If we show up and we run into problems because you're trying to steal that pork, well, my problem becomes all of our problem. Do you follow me?
Yes, of course.
All right.
You can take an elf's word.
Right, an elf in the Path of Malice. The captain will stare for a moment, just not sure what to do with this situation, and then he'll go back to barking orders at his crew.
I'll walk up to whoever's mopping the deck. Hey, man, you care if I get a couple rounds in? I figure I should train today, you know? You mind if I take over?
Before you finish the sentence, he'll hand you the mop and
Yes.
walk away.
And then I'll, start doing these horrible karate poses while mopping.
I'm imagining what this looks like, and it's really quite silly as you whip this mop around,
I'm making,
doing forms with them,
Also, yeah, with sound effects
Swab,
aplenty.
and then, right?
Swab
That's what
on,
you're doing.
swab off.
Exactly.
Swab on, swab off.
Let's get down to
I'm
business.
gesturing with a big mop handle in my hand in the air.
To defeat the
floor.
Huns.
At one point, while you're doing your solo Jedi moves, over
training,
here,
yes.
training, yes, yeah, I'll come over and I'll kick one of your feet just slightly, moving your foot a little bit.
Oh, I'll completely fall. I'll stand up all flustered. Hey, wait. I didn't know we were sparring. Okay, that doesn't count. I wasn't looking.
You lack stability. Without stability, there is no purpose, there is no drive, and there's no focus.
Well, rule number, I think 400 and something at Sensei's Monastery is there is no purpose.
Wow.
What a teacher.
I know, he's great. I can't wait to see him again. You guys should really come meet him. Are you excited? I'm excited. He's really good. I bet you guys will probably get in the 20-person room. It's really good. You have to pay a little bit of gold. Okay, a
Focus.
lot of gold to get in.
I'll say, and I'll just wave my hand in front of you. Stand here.
I'll follow your instructions.
Now do your Jedi training.
I don't like this. This feels like I'm really stable. I feel like I won't
What's
be
a
able to get knocked down.
Jedi.
Stability is the foundation of everything we build. You must find stability yourself.
I gotta be real with you. This feels really weird, but I guess I can try this out.
I'll just nod and I'll walk away. And I'm going to go sit down next to JR and continue to look at the
I'll
stars.
just be completely still for like the next half hour.
Yeah, I'll be doing push-ups and crunches. Gotta keep the body tight if I want to keep up with you magic users.
I'm just like stepping in between these guys. One is talking to his pig. The other one's like dancing with a mop. One's doing sit-ups. The other one's staring intently at the guy dancing with the mop, and I'm not sure why. And I remember that, nobody's kept an eye on Zai for a while, and I see her at the end of the ship.
Yeah, just looking out over the
Yeah.
ocean.
And I walk up to her, kind of cross my arms and lean on the
Railing.
Railing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Such a good DM.
Oh, sorry, I meant brawling.
So about that avalanche. And so I just, kind of clear my throat and glance over at her. So you knew him.
So, you did too.
Yes, I did.
What was he like? Before he died, of course.
He was absolutely horrible, actually. My tribe, that is my mother, the matriarch, she had a whole string of suitors. I had dozens and dozens of half siblings, it doesn't matter, but they would come in and out. None of them were important, even though they thought they did, but this one, him, he was awful. He was really bad.
Life is a game of survival, isn't it? We're all animals. Sounds like he always won. He was the strongest. Can you blame him?
He was the strongest until 3 of his largest sons came up and stabbed him in his sleep.
Ooh, serves him right. So
Did he
he's-
ever tell you that?
No. That is not the story we were told of his death. He's tiefling, you're saying?
Yes. Does he not have a tiefling form now?
No, he's grotesque. He's eaten a lot.
It would seem that his soul has taken the form of who he always was deep down. I am sorry that you found your way into working with him. Whatever choices you made, I am sorry for that.
What did you do to deserve to be in the Path of Malice?
I just did what I needed to do to survive. Tieflings from Mount Orem have a very different upbringing than those who wander the rest of the continent, and you just do what you can to not end up like your former master.
I respect that.
I don't, but then again,
Don't apologize for being a monster. They're not going to apologize for making you one.
well, once I get out of Malice, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I don't get back here again.
The dumb one, and she'll point at Modus, who's doing flips and trying to do flips with his...
Hey, she should be pointing at the warthog.
I glance over and kind of roll my eyes, but there's a little bit of a smile there too.
He said...
Warthog has fewer dumb questions than you do.
That's because he hasn't figured them out yet.
He said that you're going back to Vitara. You found a way back, maybe to get bodies? Is that true?
I'm hesitant to answer because as much as I sympathize with this person, I still don't trust her, but there's nothing to do but tell the truth, so I just answer yes.
Do you think you can actually have a second chance?
I suppose everyone can get a second chance. The important part is what you do with it.
I wanted to be defined by my strengths when I died, not my shortcomings. Maybe I'll join you. Maybe I'll have a second chance too.
I'll see JR doing his push-ups as I'm standing there looking at the stars. And I assume several minutes goes by of this because you seem like you're in very good shape.
Oh, yeah.
All that tea that he drinks. He must have a very strong
There's
bicep.
steroids that he stirs into it.
Why was it that the label magic user was used on me.
Well, I was talking about all of you. Well, I don't know if Karate Man over there uses magic.
He falls as you point at him.
What?
But if he doesn't, me and him, we gotta keep the athletics up.
What
to
is it that you
compete.
define as magic?
That's a pretty deep question.
See, as it is understood, magic and psionics are two completely different aspects. Perhaps even, maybe different sides of the same coin, as you might say, actually. But magic is a selfish power. It pulls from without. Without, is that the term? Outside of oneself, in. It drains. While psionics is from the interior, outwards. Is that not an important distinction?
Well, I suppose that makes sense. Like I was born without magic and only had a small taste at some point, but I think the cost was too high then, so
You were
Can't do that
offered
anymore.
magic?
yes, but I don't have it anymore.
I'll just simply nod and look back up at the
So,
stars.
psionics, are you born with this, or is this learned? Could I learn psionics?
All Gith retain some ability to use psionics. It takes an immense amount of training, but I do not know if one who is not Gith could learn psionics. It starts at a young age and must be fostered over a very long time with lots and lots of discipline. It's why we're masters at pretty much everything we set ourselves out to be.
Yes, but it sounds like you're born with that potential.
Correct.
Must be nice. And I'll go back to doing
Push-ups.
more push-ups.
Well, pickle my prostate. Fucking peacekeepers. The captain's voice is amplified through the boat once again magically.
Falling off my chair.
Crew, hide anything illegal, including our friends from Malice. We have, I don't know, 10 or so minutes before they board. Get that shit tucked away and everyone act natural. Hey, you hear me? I don't know what you're laughing about, but get off the deck. You gotta hide somewhere.
Okay, I'm going.
I take Durgus down below and I go into the hold and I tell him, well, I kind of motion. You have to go back in your crate for a moment.
Yeah, make an animal handling check for me.
17.
That's pretty good. He trusts you enough to hesitantly go back. It's a 19. He hesitantly walks back into his cage, and he just looks up at you with his dark little eyes.
It's going to be all right. This is only just to pretend. I pet him on the snout.
The crew is abuzz now with fervor trying to get the ship in the right shape.
Mr. Captain, I'm sorry. I'll go downstairs in a second, but I'm just really curious. What's a peacekeeper? Like, are we in danger, or do I need to fight? Do I need to charm? What do I need to do here?
Right. You're new around these parts, so the peacekeepers, you see, they keep the peace, and I don't think they take too kindly to smuggling souls out of the Path of Malice. So you gotta get your ass not here, somewhere here.
Wait. Do they know? Do they know? Do I smell like Malice? Do I look like Malice? I hope I don't look like Malice. I feel like I'm a good soul.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I suspect they can smell it or some weird shit like that, but this ain't good news.
Let us not tempt the fates. Come with me. I know what to do.
Okay, I'm gonna follow him. But if you need anything, just let me know, because I got some killer moves. I don't think they can kill. I'll say as I walk away.
Hey, Gith, what was your name again? Actually, I don't care. There's
Fair enough.
in one of the guest rooms, the middle one. If you pull back the floorboards, there's we call it the prison pocket. There's enough room down there to hide 2, maybe 3 people, but I would only recommend 2.
We will make it work.
Did you just say prison pocket?
I didn't. No.
This is my little brother. What are you doing?
Nothing. It's the captain speaking.
Okay.
So how is everyone trying to hide? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going in the prison pocket.
Great.
I'm gonna be completely honest, and I missed the part where that needed to happen. So you know how Zai and I walked out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running back in, and we're gonna hide under maybe the bottom bunk,
Great.
intimately.
I already know.
Oh, damn.
I saw you guys hiding together, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Okay, great. So
Antics.
Tana and Zai, you're hiding underneath one of the bunk beds.
Yeah. Finian, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to find a place in the hold, maybe a crate or something that looks like a good hide behind or hide inside type of thing.
Yeah, you just opening crates to see what's in them, or are you looking?
I'm
for
looking
an
to see if
empty
there's one
crate?
that's empty.
Okay. Yeah.
Or a barrel or something like that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, eventually you find there are empty barrels you can hide in.
I really wanted the DM to be like, make an empty barrel.
No joke. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what check can I have him roll? I was like,
Investigation.
oh yeah, investigation. That's right.
You're welcome.
Should I roll investigation?
Yeah, roll investigation.
12.
Yeah, that's fine. You find an empty barrel. It's not comfortable, but it's enough to.
I didn't find a luxury barrel.
No, this
yeah.
is this
Splinters
is
in the
low-
butt.
Yeah.
Although it's not the prison pocket.
oh, all three of us are cramming in that pocket.
Are you?
I'll
Yeah.
pull the hatch
All-
behind us, and I will. I'll cast and make a quick little plank that I'm going to shove between two of the handles, so that way they can't open it from the other side.
So you're locking yourself in. Is it
Exactly.
all three of you trying to? Because
Yes.
JR, you're big. You're a
Yes.
big strapping man.
Yep.
This is extremely uncomfortable and like not quiet. You guys are scraping up against the edge of this. Everything is creaking.
Okay, guys, let's be real. I think one of us is gonna have to get out of here.
Quick, hold my cane.
Do you have the cane with you?
I'm sorry
that
if it's.
cane
I'm
is
sorry.
in places,
I'm
baby.
sorry if my cane is poking you in the back.
Okay, so the three of you are locked in this prison pocket together. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Great.
That's not good.
I need everyone to make a stealth check. Don't tell me what they are yet. As the 10 minutes continue, they kind of, each minute lingers, and every single one of you has to pee now, even though you're a ghost and you don't have to pee. Just that, like, that mental thing where you're just
God, I
hiding.
hate that.
Yeah,
hide
you
and
know.
seek, and you're just like, oh, I gotta pee.
I actually really kind of have to pee, so.
That's why you always hide in the bathroom.
Do you need a potty break?
No, I think it builds the tension. Go ahead.
The crew eventually becomes very quiet. Like they're not scrambling anymore. Now they're just acting as naturally as possible, just sailing through the night. And eventually you hear voices echoing from up on deck and the footsteps of more people coming aboard. You can't make out what they're saying, of course, but you hear the captain's boisterous speech saying something and
Something foul.
something awful and someone responding, and then you can hear the stairs creak. Someone is coming down to the lower deck, maybe a handful of people, and these people start spreading out into the rooms to search.
I'm going to cast Wild Shape on myself
Yeah.
and turn myself into a rat. Just like you would find in an empty barrel on a ship.
Perfect. Perfect.
I have little antlers coming out of my head.
Hopefully the antlers shrink down with you,
They
right?
do.
They're not
They're not like-
full-sized antlers.
You know, they're not outside. It's just little tiny antlers.
God, that's so fucking cute. Zai and I are like inching closer to each other, not loving it, but doing it anyway.
Someone enters the middle room, this one with the prison pocket. So Mo, JR, and Heen, you hear someone stepping above and moving things, moving the bed. See, I mean, there's not a lot of things in here to hide, which is nice. And he's going to make an investigation check against your stealth. So he rolled really well.
Uh-oh.
So what did everyone roll?
Well, I rolled a nat 20.
That is wonderful. What about
I
you,
rolled an
Jason?
18.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Mo, you did so well that you're managing to keep Heen quiet. How are you doing it?
I imagine, like, you know, in his old age, he's moving or whatever, but instead of bumping against the wood, he's like bumping into my chest and my stomach.
You're
So it's just not
cushion.
making noise.
You're like absorbing
Yeah.
his movement into your belly.
Peacekeeper does stop, and you can hear it sounds like he's padding along the floor. maybe looking for a loose plank, and we'll get back to you guys. Another peacekeeper is in the furthest of the 3 rooms where Tana and Zai are hiding. What did you roll?
Can I lie?
If you're caught,
I'm not here.
I'm not here.
No one's under here.
I'm just your imagination.
I rolled a very respectable 14.
I'm gonna roll for this peacekeeper,
Could you not?
and we'll get back to you.
Fuck.
Another peacekeeper makes his way into the hold, and you, Finian, can hear. There are 2 of them, and they're opening crates and barrels, and they're talking to each other in a language you don't speak, but you recognize it. These must be Tritons. You know, of course, being from Noctara, you know the peacekeepers sail around this side of the world, keeping the peace. Sometimes with some brutal enforcement, anything to keep the peace. What was your stealth check?
18.
One of them opens the barrel that you're in and sees a rat in it, and he lets out an explicit, like he wasn't expecting to see a rat. Do you scurry away? What do you do?
I'm in the bottom of a barrel.
Right, well, rats can jump.
Oh, God.
They've got pretty gross teeth.
I think I'm just going to play dead. I'm a dead rat in a barrel.
Oh, that's so smart.
I don't know what additional advantages I would get to
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a rat
If-
instead of
If
myself.
I saw a dead rat, I would be like running. That is so smart.
He opens it, looks in, sees there's a dead rat, makes a comment about being surprised that he would see an actual rat on this side of the world, but it's dead.
Makes sense.
He just closes the lid back up, and then they keep searching the other barrels and crates.
I let out a quiet and long breath because I was holding my breath this whole time.
But it's like a little rat. So
It's a
like,
little tiny rat.
The person who is with 3 of you is still feeling around, and it seems like he's maybe getting closer and closer to the opening, and you can feel that he's like jiggling on it, like he found it, he's trying to get it open, but it's locked. And then he stops when someone yells from another room.
Thanks for that nat 20.
I was going to say if he opened it, you could just pull him in there with you. All 4 of you just smother him in your...
In the prison pocket.
He stops, and he there's no motion for a little bit, and then you can hear his footsteps creak as he quickly moves to the other room.
Guys, what do you think he was yelling about?
Shh, there's no talking in the prison pocket.
Oh, and then I'll cover my mouth.
As Tana, as you can see from under the bed, you see the fish-like blue feet of this Triton walking around the room, and he's getting closer and closer to the bed, and it looks like he's about to kneel under it. And Zai sighs, a deep, heavy sigh, and she says, "Second chances." And she pulls out a dagger and she charges out and stabs it through his eye. And he crumples to the floor as he screams, "I found something!" And you can hear noises from everywhere else, like also all the other peacekeepers running into the room to see what just happened. And it's like, oh shit!
This is what a 14 rolls?
And they're now scrambling to deal with what just happened, and they're pulling Zai off of the struggling and very quickly dying Triton that she plunged her dagger into, and not one of them is concerned with the bunk bed anymore. They are all very firmly focused on this, and you hear her struggling and you see her struggling, and they yank her up to her feet and pull her out of the room, and she doesn't even glance back at the bed. She is just fighting them off as they struggle and take her out of the room. And then there's some silence for a while.
How many are there? Just wondering.
You saw 4 pairs of Triton feet.
Guys, don't kill me. I hate that bitch, but I also kind of like that bitch. And I'm wondering if maybe I could go ahead and shoot my scorching ray with advantage and maybe kill all of them and burn them on fire. And I'm not kidding.
No.
Just a small favor.
You can absolutely shoot your scorching ray, and you know what? I will give you advantage because you are
I
very
wasn't asking
emotional
for
about
advantage.
this.
Chaos is sort of pooling, and so I am going to.
Are you separating the
Fuck.
3 of these beams at different
There are
Tritons?
4 beams, Mr. DM, and they're going
I
at.
don't think you can do 4.
Yes, I can. I can roll 1 ray with 2 fuck.
It's 3 total.
Right, 1 just gets advantage. Okay, I am.
Great.
I will do this properly, boys. Thank you. I hate myself for what I'm about to do.
And I said there are 4, which is correct. One of them does have Zai's dagger through his brain, so there are 3 who are alive.
I jump out from underneath the bed. I don't need to. I know that. And I run out the door. And I'm standing there in the doorway with frantic, frenzied eyes as they're dragging her up the stairs. I don't know what they're going to do. And fire just sort of like coalesces all around me. And I don't have a lot of control over it, but I do have 3 beams that I know is going to hopefully smash into each one of them. One of those beams is a 20. Another one of those beams is an 11. But I'm going to re-roll that for a 21. And the third beam is a 17. Because I'm really, really mad.
You see these Tritons, they're not wearing a lot of armor. It looks like they're used to being under the water. So all 3 of those hit. So go ahead and roll your damage against each of them.
I'm so stressed right now. I can't say anything. There's no talking in the prison pocket.
You guys just hear like a lot
You
of
guys,
like
you hear a
screaming.
lot of scuffling, and now you hear fire.
Oh, I'm just gonna say,
And then I'll say really condescendingly, shh. No talking in the prison pocket.
I'll cover your mouth.
Tana, what is your damage?
First beam, we have a 5.
Okay.
Second beam, we have a 6. Third beam, we have an 11.
The 3 Tritons are scorched by this, and you can now smell
Burning fish.
yeah. It smells kind of good.
Yeah. Throw it with some rice and like a little bit of like lime juice.
It's like some salmon. And the 3 of them will immediately drop Zai and turn to see who just fired fire at them. And one of them will stay back, realizing he just let go of Zai, and she's freaking out with a dagger. The other 2 will charge you.
Yeah. Well. Well.
The 2 who go at you have harpoons.
I'm gonna throw up my blade ward to try and dampen some of the damage from what's gonna really hurt.
One of them lands a natural 20 to crit you
Okay.
for a total of only 8 piercing damage.
Okay. See, it was worth it for my bestie.
The other one misses. And the third one will attack Zai. It's Zai's turn. And the Triton who she's in combat with now is still on fire. Parts of his leather is still burning. And she has no problem finishing him off.
Beautiful.
With like a sneak attack or something.
Yeah, she'll use her bonus action to aim and use her action to get sneak attack damage, doing 6,000 piercing damage.
Oh, see,
Because that's how rogues work.
My best frenemy. She's my best frenemy. She knows where it's
She a
at.
level 30 rogue.
Yeah, she's a level 900 rogue. Tana, it's your turn. There are 2 Tritons left, and they're both burning.
Are they standing in front of my new best frenemy?
They are both standing in front of you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm still so angry that fire is seething between my fingertips, and I throw up my hands to cast Burning Hands.
Be aware that that is a cone, and you'll likely light the ship on fire.
You know, I'm so mad right now
Oh no.
that it's gonna happen.
Okay, great. Both of them will make saves against this. Both of them will fail.
Okay, well,
Does the ship fail?
Yeah, the ship fails its deck save. Yeah, takes fire damage.
Damn.
I knew we should have invested in a rogue ship.
we have 13 damage.
Wow, that completely incinerates both of them, leaving you and Zai staring at each other across a pile of burning Triton corpses while the rest of the ship starts catching fire. Very quickly, the hallway is filling with smoke. The rest of you can start smelling the smoke.
Okay, guys, this prison pod
time
is
to go.
getting real hot.
I'll release the latch I had on it and just kick the door open. The hatch just flies open and I'll jump out. Let's go.
Yeah, my temper has cooled down a little bit, and I'm right there with you, grabbing Zai by her collar.
Yeah. So you all emerge into the hallway to find that it appears Tana and Zai just murdered these 4 peacekeepers.
Ben!
I run over. I've now come out of my rat
Yeah.
shape and hauled myself out of the barrel, smelling smoke. I've released Dergus and shoot him along.
Yeah.
I smell the smoke. Like go to the basically go.
Yeah, he runs.
He runs, and I go over to where the fire is burning, and I'm going to try something that I really am not sure is going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave and see if the concussive effect of this will try to knock out some of the flame.
Wow. The DM
I
is
need
making
to
a
ask
really.
my resident scientist about this one. Pretty sure that would do nothing, right?
It's funny, I thought the
concussive
same
It could
blast of
flame it
fire?
even.
Could you explain
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say
those
it
of
could
us who are
spread it.
unfamiliar with what that spell does?
So it's like this concussive, thunderous boom that
15-foot cube, and the fire has to make a Constitution saving.
Okay. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, here we go. Hot rolls.
All right. What's your save? What's your DC?
13.
The fire fails.
Yes.
Aaron is pumping his fist in the air.
Anyone who listens, who actually plays D&D, probably stopped listening. They're done now.
I honestly had the same
Sorry.
idea as you.
I don't know what else I could have done. I can't make water or anything right now.
I kind of have to make water right
I
now.
was gonna say it'd be good. We could all like pee on the fire.
So some of the fire is extinguished,
ghosts, we don't-
defying all logic. But a lot of the wood is also like splintering outward now.
Maybe I've removed some of the wood from the range of the fire.
Yeah, that makes
Anyway,
sense.
there's a huge, just horrible thundering sound that emanates from me while I'm standing in the middle of this fiery hallway.
Are we attacking the ship? Okay.
And wood splinters, and you see flames, kind of like a strong puff of air has blown out a good amount of the flame.
I'm just gonna start punching a door. Okay, if we're attacking the ship, here we go.
And I grab a blanket off of the bunk,
Yeah.
and I start trying to smother as much of the fire as I can in
Sure.
this room. And I say, somebody else grab another blanket and help.
And I'm just standing there looking sort of sheepish.
The smoke now has risen up the stairs into the deck, and you can hear the captain yell, "Oh, agitate my asshole, what the hell?" And you can hear just now the thundering booms of the crew and whoever is on deck scrambling to figure out what's going on.
My shoulders are slumping even more in sheepishness.
The captain followed closely behind by a 5th Triton, though this one is wearing a lot more gilded components in what little armor he's wearing. Runs down, followed again by more crew. And the Triton, without hesitation, immediately casts a spell that emits water, and he sets the fire out. And there's just this awkward pause where everyone is just kind of staring at each other.
Well, I'm
And
covered in water, so I'm extremely unhappy at this point.
the peacekeeper's gaze, and you imagine this is their leader or their captain, whatever. His gaze flickers between the 4 dead bodies and the tiefling and all of you and the captain whose ship he's on, and he's speechless. He's trying to process what's going on. Everyone is trying to process what's going on.
I squeeze Zai's hand and mutter under my breath, yeah, second chances.
She smiles back. Kind of this, I don't know what's going on, but she like looks down at her dagger that she's still carrying and her white-knuckled fist like she's ready to lunge at this Triton at any moment.
Well, there was an explosion. You shouldn't have been storing gunpowder down here.
This
I don't
doesn't
think
seem like
gunpowder
it's
is a
up to
thing.
code, right? It's not up to code.
I'm going to have to report you to OSHA for this.
Our poor DM has blanched. There is no more color in his face.
The Triton turns to the captain. So you are smuggling those from Malice, is that true?
We're not from Malice. We're good noodles, fine gentlemen
Oh, sure.
and ladies.
You think you're the first one to lie about that?
Oh, I am from the prestigious Ranstar family. We fight evil. We aren't evil.
He lowers his trident at you. Don't resist, you'll make this far more painful for you. And he will run forward, trident, point forward at your gut, and he will attack you.
Dodge left and waste him with your crossbow.
With a natural 1. He trips over the corpses of his fellow peacekeepers and lands flat on the ground.
I would love to try and make friends with him.
Okay.
Well, good sir, you tripped.
In the middle of his attack.
No, he tripped. He's on the ground. I'm feeling really bad about what I did. I'm going to try and fix it. with friendship.
Go ahead.
I just have to remember how to cast the spell.
You now have advantage on your
Beautiful.
Charisma checks against him.
God damn it.
No need to be hostile.
I'm right there next to JR, and each of us grab one of his wrists and
Yes.
help him up.
Yes.
And I dust off his cummerbund.
This was a terrible accident that ended your...
And I'm nodding in agreement with JR and saying, terrible accident. We are absolutely not in a place we shouldn't be. There was some powder, and you know, us tieflings, there's fire. I sneezed, and it caught on fire.
Make a deception check with advantage.
14? No, wait. 16? No, I've got +5 for deception. It's plus 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
He's growling as you're lifting him up. Like, it's now finally sunk in what's happened. This is not what he was expecting from what was probably just a routine check on this ship. And before he can respond, a scimitar pierces through his chest from behind him, and the captain rips it back out. And this Triton, this soul, just slumps down and joins the other 4 souls, as those 4 souls have now started decaying and kind of dissipating back into Espis, the god of essence, where all souls come from.
You didn't have to murder him.
Oh, fuck. What the hell? What part of Hyde do you not understand?
We were doing a great job. All 3 of us were crammed in the prison wallet.
I told
having
you
a jolly
to.
good time.
I was a dead
I
rat.
don't know what happened out here.
You were what?
I was a dead rat.
What the fuck? I explicitly told you not to kill it. I don't think I did I? Well, kickbox my clitoris. I think this is probably my fault.
Well, to be fair, you were the one who killed this man right here.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't
Well-
us.
Well, if I didn't, he'd be killing you, and you're in my chart,
I
yes?
think we were making friends with him.
I raise my finger timidly,
Yes.
looking from each person. So, what now?
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. I think that's where we'll pick up next week. If you had fun, come roll with us on Facebook, Patreon, and Discord, where you can affect everything from the story to the dice themselves. I'd like to thank Tabletop Audio and Sword Coast Soundscapes for supplying this chapter's music, as well as Serpent Sound Studios for our intro and outro. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening.